selectively finished in cognac casks. Hello and welcome to the Whisky Trials. I'm Neil, this is Wee Jock, and this is the Glenlivet Captains Reserve. This was a spur of the moment purchase. It's quite a long time ago now, but it was definitely under 30 quid. I'm thinking it was around the 23, 22 pound mark. So I thought, ooh, that might be interesting. Probably be good value. Again, I've done the journey with this one pretty much, and well, let me tell you a bit about it. It was not an enjoyable first part of the journey. In fact, I haven't enjoyed this bottle really one bit. I think I don't want to be too nasty too quick, because I just had a quick nip there and just kind of reacquainted myself with it and wrote down a couple of notes. But I'll tell you what I got first of all when I opened this bottle. So when I open a bottle, I smell the cork, and this was one of the corks that smelled a bit funky. It's really have a good smell of it this time. Well, I'm getting faint raisins and sultanas there, but I'm pretty sure this was one of the ones where I opened it. I smelt the cork for the first time, and I thought, ugh, it's that weird kind of cheap wine kind of smell. And then I thought, okay, give it the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes I've had ones that kind of smell like that, and actually they've been okay, sort of fairly easy drinking whiskies. Poured myself a decent nip for not liking it so much. I can tell you the legs aren't great on it though. So anyway, the journey that I had with this started off on a bad note. It didn't get any better because the smell, for me, a little bit lackluster. There's not too much kind of going on. But the thing that really let it down straight away was the taste. Now, I don't know if it was like the neck pour. I think it wasn't, because obviously, I've had this bottle for a few months now. But what I do remember about this bottle was a sourness, a real sourness that I quite like a bit of sourness in a whiskey. But this one, it wasn't quite right. The sourness, it was, and oh, I should mention that the Glenlivet Captains Reserve, is selectively finished in cognac casks. So that's why I thought, oh yeah, this might be quite good. But I don't want to be nasty here, but it kind of feels like maybe there was some slightly weird tasting whiskey from a cask, and they're like, let's just finish this in a cognac cask and mask some of this weird, funky sourness with some cognac. That'll work. Or maybe it's the cognac that gives it that weird, funky sourness. I don't really know. I'm not a cognac drinker at all. But what I was writing down just there was the smell of this. It does have quite a funky wood smell. Kind of old, funky wood, slightly like damp. There's something. It's not unpleasant, and I suppose as in terms of like wood goes, it's quite a complex woody smell, because I'm getting quite a lot of weird woodness. But I'm just trying to explain to you why, or the kind of weird wood that I'm getting. It is like kind of funky, old, dusty dusty and damp at the same time, if you can get that kind of wood. And it's not punchy on the palate at all. The immediate kind of thing that I get is, a slightly watered down kind of feel. There's no real kind of oils or anything like that going on. So yeah, it wasn't one that got off to a good start, and I haven't really enjoyed it since. And I can't say that I'm particularly enjoying it now. It's probably better than it was. That could well be because it's been sitting on the shelf with a bit of air in it for, I don't know, a good couple of months I've had this. And I haven't finished it, which kind of says a lot for it. I mean, I have been saving them. I do tend to save them when they get down to that stage for the Whisky Trials. But some of them don't make it because they're too nice, and I just finish them. But this wasn't one of them, and it's certainly not one that I would advise you to go and buy. I think it was reduced from like 30 quid or something silly like that. And I just paid just over 20 quid, I think, like I said. And even then, I think there's better ones for that kind of money. I'd rather spend 20 quid and get a Glenmurray. I know what I'm getting with Glenmurray. I know I'm going to enjoy that. But if you do have one of these, or you want to try it, by all means, I would say open it and pour a few. You'll maybe get that sourness that I got, the weird woody, funky wood sourness. Not particularly enjoyable, maybe a bit too harsh, a bit too much sourness. But then just let it breathe. Give it some air in the bottle, pour a few out, put the cork back in, and just leave it on the shelf for a couple of months, and then go back to it, because this is the best that I've had out of the journey so far. This nip, there is some vanilla sweetness in there, but it is quite an interesting one in terms of the weird woody smell. There's almost like a mossiness to it. It is like that old wood that's been mossy, and then you've cut it, and then maybe it's dried out, and it's slightly rotten. It's a bit dusty. That kind of smell of wood. Maybe that's where it gets its sourness from. I don't know. Maybe it was quite old barrels, or some of it has been some quite old whiskey that they've mixed in with this expression. Who knows? I'd like to have more information about that. To be fair, if they came out with the kind of history of it and what it's all about. I haven't looked at the back of this. Maybe it'll tell us. I very much doubt it. It does say at the very top, it says, "Here is something different. A whiskey inspired by the unique character of its namesake, Captain William. It'll take you on a journey from the misty glens of Scottish Speyside to the heart of the Cognac region in France with every sip." Don't really know the Cognac region in France, so it's not really taking me there. The captain, as everybody loved to call him, was an ambitious and determined man who was frightening. Jeez, he might have been frightening, but he was fighting in France during World War One, when he inherited the Glenlivet distillery. Oh, that's all right, nice. Don't mind inheriting a distillery. If anybody out there owns a distillery, fancy giving it away, then let me know. Sign me up. A good reason why Captains Reserve is finished in cognac casks, uniting its raisin-rich honey and spicy notes with the smooth citrus flavours of the Glenlivet distinctive Speyside style. Savour this whiskey just as we would.
unhurried. No, don't really think so. It's not doing it for me. It might just be one that's just not for my palate. So it says here, man, it makes it sound amazing on the box, I have to say. The nose, it says sweet and fruity aromas of honey and apricot jam with notes of cinnamon bread and a subtle sensation of spicy licorice. Wow, that's really pushing the boundaries of smellage. I would love to say that I'm kind of getting any of that. I mean, if you really push me, I'd say there is a bit of sweetness there. There is a spicy, an oaky spiciness. And I got it there for a little bit. There was a slight, almost a lemoniness. There was a slight lemoniness to it. But, you can say what you like in these things. I mean, for me, like, if one person says, like, if you're into your whiskey and you say spicy wood, most people kind of get what you mean. But equally, you could say spicy licorice, and maybe that could transpire into what I mean by spicy wood. But maybe that's where I'm getting the old wood, because licorice for me has got that kind of slightly dry, dusty, maybe a little bit funky kind of smell to it. And so maybe I'm just not connecting the dots. So the palate, it says succulent flavours of mandarins in syrup. Mandarins in syrup. Wow, that's like a big flavour. That's sweet. Ripe poached pears and chocolate dipped raisins. Oh man, this should be like the sweetest goddamn whiskey I've ever had. But it isn't. And I would in no way say that the flavours in this are succulent. But do you know what? Enough with dissing it. In fact, let's diss it some more. Let's diss it some more. More with the dissing. I don't really like the branding of Glenlivet. Does it feel like a failed Macallan? A cheap imitation kind of Macallan. Macallan bottles, they look great. They've got this little thing on them that kind of go down. They've got the thick bottoms and stylized. They've gone that kind of sexy, weird, expensive Macallan way. And Glenlivet, I've kind of looked at the bottom like, we could maybe do something like that, but we'll cut a few corners and we'll do it this way. And I kind of feel that what that is, that's what's happened rather. And the purpliness, it's going to appeal to some people. The purple box, it's like, hey, the purple box. I ain't got a purple box. I got creamy boxes, grey boxes, blue boxes, other blue boxes, white boxes, grey boxes. But I ain't got a purple box. So yeah, that'll probably go in my little box collection. I guess it's purple. It's different. I'm not a massive fan of purple, really. Apparently, it's the colour of sexual frustration. Who knew? And who makes these things up? Who decides what a colour means? I don't know. People that say purple is their favourite colour and then are analysed psychologically are sexually frustrated. I don't know. It's a weird one. And this is a weird whiskey. But like I said, this is the best I've had it.
So if you do have one of these, you've probably experienced the same thing as me. You've probably gone, it's a bit weird, it's a bit funky, it's a bit sour, it's a bit kind of weird and all over the place, and I'm not quite sure if I like it. I'm not quite sure what it's trying to be, where it fits in, and the box lied to me. But give it a bit of time. Let it sit in the bottle for a while, and I think you'll get the best out of it, because that's what I'm getting right now. Still not great. I'm never going to rush out and buy another one. But you tend to find, or you might find with expressions, that they come out with a new one. I think this is a new one, because I don't think it's in Jim Murray's book. And what tends to happen is that they come out with an expression, people slag it, like myself, or people say what they would like to improve, and maybe they bring out a slightly improved version. I think that happened with the Founders Reserve. The Founders Reserve was, when it first came out, widely, I'll not say despised, but not particularly enjoyable. Lackluster, let's say. And then give Glenlivet their due. They improved it. They worked on it, and they brought out something that's much better. Now, do I have any? Is it back there? No. I should have some. I've definitely drunk a good few bottles of the Founders Reserve, and it's all right. It's pretty good. I like it. It's good value. It's normally fairly cheap. It's normally on a deal somewhere. It's easy to find. It's normally in a lot of the supermarkets. And it's a good one to get going with and try and see how you like it. This one, not so much. But maybe wait until they've collected all the feedback, and then they come out with another Captain's Reserve in a couple of years' time or something, because I don't know, it's just nothing. There's nothing special about it, and it'll be a 40%er again. Yeah, 40%. I think for me, right, guys, if you're going to do expressions, and you want them to have some kind of impact, you just can't do the 40% thing. You can't do it, because look, there is this prestige and this love of age statements. Whether it's justified or not, I don't know, but it has a following, it has a history, it has a passion, it has something there. So when you come out with these essentially blends of your own distillations, I think you've got to make them something a little bit better. You've got to raise the bar a little bit. Don't just come out with something and be like, 40%. Let's get rid of this shit whiskey. Let's stick it in some cognac casks and we'll write some cool stuff on the back. And let's get out there. Let's maximise these profits, guys. And honestly, if distilleries, if you as a distillery, or you as a person that's running a distillery, is going down that route of maximising your profits by essentially watering down your whiskey and churning it out at 40% for these expressions, you're going to lose fans. You're going to lose drinkers. You might make more money, but you won't be doing anything special. And that's what whiskey is. Whiskey's a special drink. And if it goes down this road of just churning out the base that you can do, you're not doing anything special. It is not going to turn heads. It's going to detract the real fans, the real whiskey aficionados, the people that love whiskey, like myself, are going to shun your distilleries. They're going to go places that are doing it right. And there are places that are doing it right. And I think the more money that's in whiskey, the more that, this whole kind of industry takes off. The smaller distilleries, the perhaps cooperatively funded ones, it's difficult to say after a couple of nips, that don't have profits much in mind. You know, they're more about putting out something that's right, that's that they really want to put out. Than these are the guys that'll, you know, get popular, and you know they'll be the next. They might be the next Glenlivet or Glenfiddich or whatever. You know. Last smell and last taste, and then we'll wrap this video up. So, yeah,
The Glenlivet Captains Reserve. Would I tell you to buy it? No, I wouldn't. Should you go and buy it? No, you shouldn't. If it's on a deal, maybe if you're like, I don't know, desperate to try some weird, sour, funky wood. But yeah, apart from that, like the video, don't like the video, for whatever reason, make sure you leave a comment, subscribe, interact, ring that little bell thing. You'll get all my notifications when I do new videos and stuff. I'm trying to keep these videos a little bit shorter, so, you know, check out my older, longer ones. But, yeah, cheers.